Good evening, everyone. I am very sure Mr. Alfred has read a lot that I'm amazed if I'm the one he's been speaking about. But either way,
Yes, you
thank you
are.
for
You
having
are.
me. Please go ahead, sir.
Okay, so you're welcome on board. You're welcome on board. So I spoke about the objectives. Like I said, please let us get our writing materials because it's going to be providing some insight to road mapping, and how to even start a career because in cybersecurity, a lot of people are doing cybersecurity, don't know what they are doing in cybersecurity. So it's going to be providing core insights in on how to do all this from scratch. We'll be talking about road mapping. We'll be talking about how to scale. Yes, we'll be talking about the demand, salary expectation, how to get started, and how to land your first cybersecurity job. Over to you, Mr. Adewale. Please, can we use our emoji to appreciate and welcome Mr. Adewale? Let me get you use our stickers, please. Yes, thank you. Let's use our stickers. Let's use our stickers. Yeah, thank you. So please, we're just starting now. Let's stay to the end of the section. Thank you. And over to you, Mr. Adewale. Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Alfred, for the wonderful introduction. And good day, everyone. I would like you to please mute yourself just in case your speaker is on so that I will be able to maximize the time I have with you. And I appreciate the fact that you took a huge leap to join in today's call. My name is Adewale Mustafa. I am a security engineer. I specialize in application security, and I have been having the privilege to train people from different parts of the world. I've been training in for some years now. I've trained in you for students in US, USA, Canada, and a lot in Nigeria and a lot in Africa. I've been privileged and I'm still privileged to still train people across different organizations, even as I speak with you. I am able to also provide mentorship for students, especially the ones that I've trained, so that we can all keep along and learn together. I'm also happy to tell you that I have worked across different organizations and I have been able to learn security operations center analyst, practice in this area as security engineer, practice in that area also. And I'm also able to share with people on regular basis. And that's a little bit about me. But what we are here to do, it's a lot more about you. And I am briefly going to state one core value that I'm about to introduce to you and how you and I can actually make it forward. I titled this very simple webinar or a meeting, a kickstart to grow your career in cybersecurity from learning to earning. I must admit, we are all into this for profit. We are all into this for growth. And if you're not, it's not a problem. But whatever reason why you are here, I have this as part of my reason. So please, I would like you to work with me as we delve into how we can all make it in this journey. Areas of my interest for tonight or this evening are the ethical hacking as a career path, the security operating center, the governance risk compliance, and how you can turn the skills you have into paid opportunity in the long run. Paid opportunity in the long run. Now, let's get started. So, if a why is unknown, there is possibility that the destination may not be clear. First of all, start with why. Start with why. My question is why security? What is cybersecurity to you? I have been speaking. I think I got a response. If somebody is asking if we are speaking, can anyone confirm that you can hear me? If you do, please give a thumbs up. Just give a thumbs up, give a thumbs up so I can continue. Okay, I get a thumbs up from somebody, from another person, then I can proceed. So for the person not able to hear me, please drop a message for him or her in the chat to know that we are actually on air. So why is cybersecurity? Every day we see security breach. Every day we see financial institution get hacked, health system get hacked, government raise alarm. We have different country raising bonus. We have Australia right now making it a hot cake for their citizens, encouraging them. Largely, we have Nigeria buying big into this. We have places like Kenya, we have Ghana. These spaces are building good structure for cybersecurity, and we can see that as Africa is concerned, this is going to be enormous in the long run. It's a good side. Why this matter to the institution? It's a lot. Why is it matter to you? Because the skill that is required for you to skyrocket into a career that is continuously growing and is prolonged enough to help you make sustainable living and much more. That is very key. For you and I are different, our reasons might be different. Mine started from me willing to solve problem by not only securing myself, but securing as many people that I'm privileged to be with. So if I don't get asked, the people with me should has helped me to grow and to sail upward. So please, I will advise you, please go and start with why. Define why you should do cybersecurity. Because when the challenge comes, when the road gets tough, one thing that might keep you going is your why. And if your why is solid enough, it can help you overcome the challenges we have in the station. And what are the challenges? Challenges can be burning out. Challenges can be endless learning. Challenges can be enough to learn and you are willing to just run away. I must admit, because this is true, I've happened to mentor people from different countries. I know what the questions are. I can tell you from my experience starting, they are right, and this is true. Now, what is cybersecurity? It's a practice of protecting systems, a practice of protecting network, a practice of protecting data. Anything digital attack can be prevented with cybersecurity. It is built on core value, confidentiality, integrity, and availability. You break any of these three, then cybersecurity can be considered broken. In essence, it is all about ensuring that only the right people have access to the right information at the right time, willingly surrender, not broken in any form. Therefore, you are needed to be among the people to ensure that only right people have access to right information at the right time. So this is what you're going to practice for as long as it takes. Then you will have to keep learning. An example is, imagine an attacker intercepting your online banking session by eavesdropping or sniffing the traffic through any of the sniffers. Cybersecurity prevent through encryption, through authentication, through monitoring of traffic in transit or in motion, or is it the traffic on at rest. Now, we have to put different security solutions in place to make sure that while you're about to start, while you are working, and at the end of your operation, nothing seems broken or nothing is broken after all. Cybersecurity ensures this. So you should know what it is, having defined your why. Now that I have given you the example, I want to go to areas of interest for today. Remember, I have three at least area. Ethical hacking as a part, governance, risk and compliance as a part, SOC, that is Security Operating Center Analyst as a part, and as much as possible, give you a grand break of a roadmap. So what is a hacker mindset? To start with ethical hacking. Ethical hacking is the heart, H-A-A-R-T, so to say. A-R-T is an art of thinking like a hacker. It's that simple. We often call it offensive security. Offensive security because we have to think like an hacker to be able to know what an hacker would do, what to would use, where an hacker would be, or where an hacker is willing to go. That way, we will be able to know how to prevent what an attacker would do, where an attacker would be, or how an attacker would have acted with the tools an attacker have access to. So offensive security. People in this area are paid to attempt to bypass security solutions, security of the network, security of the data, to eventually penetrate and extract this thing as a proof of exploitation that they were able to not only see, they conquer by acquiring. With a proven step documented as a proof of concept, having received a legally signed approval to do so. A thin line here is this: a hacker, if you are one, you could be considered as a criminal. As a matter of fact, a word like this 10 years ago was nothing anybody want to relate with. So when you call you a hacker, you're often referred as a criminal. But then there is divination and there is need to categorize, because in the industry, we have ethical hackers, often considered as white hat hackers. And the ones that are not white hat hacker are the crackers, which often refer as the hacker. The hacker can also be a gray hat hacker or a type that is purely black hat hacker, whose interest is only to interrupt, whose interest is only to bypass unethically. Therefore, if you're considering ethical hacking as a career path, you need to understand that it is all about having a mindset of an attacker, but to act legally, responsibly, with permission that is legally signed. If you act without a written or signed contract, anything can frame you to be an attacker and you could go to face the law. It's as simple as that. A thin line between this: the moment you remove the ethical from the hacking, it is automatically illegal. Then you can be held ransom. So you need to understand this difference. You are paid regularly to attempt to bypass security in place in order to prove the security underlying, insecurity underlying. With that, having received the consent of the one who grants you approval with a proven signature, you can proceed. That's it. So if I'm an attacker, or let's say if I'm an ethical hacker, what I would do on a daily basis would be I will attempt to exploit the system and find vulnerabilities before the criminal do. So on a daily basis, my work as an application security engineer is an attempt to bypass the security of application programming interface, the security of network access control, the security of every network system, every EDR, and every SIM in place. So if I'm able to bypass all your security control, having understood their process, and I can prove that I got in and I access it because you have given me an approval and I have a proof of concept, trust me, that is what you pay me for. But because you have approved my process, I can do that. If I do that, I face the law. And you find secret things when you do that. Yes. As a matter of fact, yesterday was a very groundbreaking in my team when we find a vulnerability that we realize that we were not even detected, and then we call the attention of our other team, say, hello, we're about to take your job from you because we have found something so solid. And by the time they saw the proof of concept, they were like, my goodness, I am about to run away from this job because you people have just proved me as though I've never been here. It could be that slit. Why? You found a loophole that they have not observed for very long, and you took it and you obtained some values that are beyond any reasoning. Imagine you have the username and password of the administrator that control the whole infrastructure, and guess what? The administrator just changed the password that same day, which means you have access to the whole enterprise for the remaining next 30 days as long as the policy requires. Therefore, that is a weapon in the hand of an attacker. And then the immediate call has to come in, and it's still like, oh, come on, how do we fix this? How do we fix this? Because imagine somebody just think like you just did. We are gone and so gone. Now, this is what ethical hacking is about. Reveal the underlying insecurity, having received an approval, because this thing do have phases. What are the phases? Reconnaissance, the beginning. Everything in all hacking start with reconnaissance. Reconnaissance is the art of gathering information, especially sensitive information. A word reconnaissance is coined, extract from the military. Often the military use that word reconnaissance. Why? Because the target, they always have interest to obtain information from their target, and doing so, they do as much as possible to have enough information. This is a very key area. because you cannot bypass what you don't know exists. So it is very essential that ethical hacker do a lot of information gathering. It could be passively or actively. I will not go into detail because of what we have to cover. In addition is scanning, using different method to gather information about what application, what port, what service is running. And then you proceed to exploiting the applications you've observed or the services you have seen from your information you have gathered on the first attempt. And if you are able to exploit the system, you need to do post exploitation to like escalate privilege, invest credential, and then find a means to push everything out of the system to a command and control server that you control, where you can have all the data you've invested kept. And maybe you can now continue to do the rest. A hacker that is not ethical, having bypassed all of this security and exploited the system, would harvest the data and then leave a ransomware on the compromised system to demand a ransom now that he or she has the original copy. So the difference will be having exploited the system and proof of concept is given, we then detail to our defenders, the blue teamers, the security operations center, on how they could have find us, on how we came, on how long we have stayed, and the process and the method and the tactics, the techniques, and the procedure that we use to compromise the system, including the details of the tools and the commands we use that they could have hunted for in their threat hunting. That way, we have acted legally, and we have seen what an attacker would do, and stating this option will help our security unit to boost their defense. Largely, it is part of security because we think like hacker, we do like hacker, only that we are permitted to act based on scope. So everything has to be defined in paper. Then we report, and then we take it to fix and remediating the threat. Ethical hacking in simple word. The tools that I use are a lot. Nmap, Bobsuit, Zap, Metasploit, and areas of lab where you can practice can be Try Acme, Hack the Boss, Portswigger. I've happened to share a lot of resources on this time and time with my people. If you're able to join the learning for this particular organization, I have no doubt that you will be able to take advantage of them as well. And how do you get paid? The industry for especially ethical hacking is rated not in the beginner, usually placed intermediary to the advanced. And depending on your location, if we are to speak in dollar, you should be considering ethical hackers or pen testers can be between 60,000 to 150,000 per year in dollars. But if you're in a country where you are trading in maybe Nigeria in Naira, this is going to be depending on the organization you work for. So you can look out for certifications like Certified Ethical Hacking from EC Council, EJPT, OSCP, as this might be. But for a beginner level, EJPT or the Try Acme Junior Pen Tester will be a good one for you to gain an entry role to become a junior security or junior ethical hacker. That's it. I must also tell you the truth that if we are to consider the demand for more people that are entering into cybersecurity, they are the people I'm about to mention, the security operating center analysts, often called the blue teamer. The one I've been talking about are the red teamers. Ethical hackers are the red teamer. If you join the institution, I will be able to give you detail of the types of teams we have in cybersecurity and how you can effectively know where you can be placed. That's it. The blue teamers, the security operating center analysts. These are the people with big screen that monitor system. Let's get into detail, okay? For a defender role, like a SOC analyst, you can do the work of monitoring the system 24/7. And how do you work 24/7? You work by shifts. As we speak, as we are on this call, we have people who are watching the system as we speak. So when somebody is resting by 2 a.m., somebody picks it up. And when you're resting by 4, somebody picks it up. Some people can do the all night strength depending on the organization. Therefore, you should expect that when you go to bed, some people are watching what is going on the network, on the system, on the interface to prevent cyber attack. And what is important here to also take note is immediately we are close to the endings of the year, especially the Yolitude, attack increase in level. So rest assured, you look forward from November to December, attack level is going to increase. Why? This is the time that you will barely see me available for calls or anything, because we need to threat hunt, we need to be available, we need to be an incident responder, as the case may be. Sorry, that's beyond the scope for now. Therefore, as a security operating center, you need to understand the same tools to use to monitor and detect threats in real time, so you can report as fast as possible before the issue escalates. Threat could be malware, and malware could be anytime. Trojan, spyware, bug, anyone, as the case may be. What tool would you use? SIM tools, Splunk, Azure, Sentinel, QRadar, ArcSight, as the case may be. And there are also tools that have also eventually replaced the normal antivirus. We call them the EDR, the XDR, NDR, MDR, as the case may be. You can see Microsoft Defender for Endpoint, CrowdStrike, Carbon Black, NetWitness, a whole of them. So when you enter the industry, as you enter, you will be open to this environment. You have to learn them. And once you understand one or two, picking anyone like it will be just so seamless in transitioning. So the incident lifecycle for security operations center analyst, it's like this. You go in there, you pick up the system, and what you're looking for is threat on a daily basis. Detect the threat, analyze the threat, and if you have been able to prove that this is really a threat and not just a loud noise, then you make attempt to contain the threat. Having contained the threat, you find a way to take it out of the system by eradicating the threat, and then the system that got compromised get recovered. And when you don't stop your report. We do that especially for incident response. Every incident response, whenever there is incident, we carry out what is called incident response. It's never completed until report is provided, a tabletop, to see the root cause analysis. What could have led to it? What did we miss? How did the threat get into the system to the point that it became an incident? So a SOC analyst is to stay proactive, to detect before it becomes an incident. That is what a SOC analyst do. And that is what they do, and why they do it is they have to detect. And they do that for 24/7. Therefore, if I'm to give an example, if you have a PowerShell script that downloads malware, the SOC detects the anomaly via the EDR, like threat, like Microsoft MDATP or Carbon Black. Then they investigate it. They proceed to take the device by isolating it, that is to detect, to cut it off from the network, and then prevent the spread. That is what a SOC analyst would do. In SOC, there are levels, level 1, level 2, and level 3. Depending on the level you are, that you are given the opportunity to carry out threat hunting, and it also depends on the organization. I hope I'm not too slow, and I hope I am not too far. I'm trying to maintain the pace, and I'm considering the time. Then I will now be proceeding to governance risk and compliance, the GRC, often called the white team. These are the governance. These are the risk analysts. These are the compliance analysts. So what do they do? Security from business standpoint. That is how we see it. Security from business standpoint. Why technical teams defend the system, why they are able to detect it, analyze it, contain, eradicate, recover, report. A compliance analyst focus solely on the professionalism of the system to ensure that every of the practice of the defender and the offender align with the business requirement, and to ensure regulatory goals, especially as it is required by the organization and the country that it is being practiced. This is why in Nigeria, NDPR, NDPC are the organization, the regulatory body that governs the use of everything, data, resources that are digital, and as security is concerned in the country for Nigeria. Kenya have, I think their name is KPC, and Ghana has, generally Europe has GDPR, as the case may be. Now, the GRC analysts, they do not really do things like technical. They are a lot big on regulatory compliance, measuring the risk. The moment you introduce anything, they check the risk, third-party risk, inner risk, incident risk, possibility of attack from the name to the process to the technology to the people. They watch everything into two. They do not really do technical. So when people say, is it possible for me to be part of cybersecurity when I don't want to do anything technical? The answer is yes. I have people that we got onboarded into institution that study nothing about computer science. I have zoology, I have physics, I have especially the law student. They amazed us on our onboarding. They were the most that were onboarded. We were like, wow. If we had say you have technology background, you have computer science, I think the only computer science that made it during my time were just two. The law student feel everywhere. It wasn't about what you study. It's not about what you are willing to do. We were all subjected to the same test, the same assessment repeatedly. You don't manipulate this process. You have to pass it to move on. Therefore, to practice as a GRC analyst may not even require so much on technical, especially may not require. But if you have technical knowledge, it's an advantage. Why? I always tell my people, an exceptional GRC analyst is a type that knows the right question to ask during audit because he or she understands the technical part. And amidst his or her equal, he will also stand out. This is very core. So when you are willing to become a GRC analyst and you have the opportunity to learn anything technical, take advantage of it because this is what gives you edge to audit exceptionally and make your value worth nothing. A GRC analyst may work from any country, may work from any location, and decide that he wants the audit person to use the camera and be checking the entrance to the financial institution from their gate to see the CCTV just in the corner of his room. It's that simple. And to do that, you will require to have some certification. It is all about a lot on reading. It is a lot on editing. It's a lot on reporting. So standard govern this area. We have ISO 2701, we have NIST, we have PCI DSS, we have GDPR for Europe, we have NDPR. NIST is usually very commonly used in USA. So in GRC, to put it to scope, the governance is about security, strategy, and leadership. Risk is about identifying the threat and mitigating the threat, while the compliance is mostly about meeting the standards. The standard that I listed earlier, GDPR, NDPR, PCI DSS, like go. So to you who is willing or may be willing to consider this role, the tools you can use like HR, ServiceNow, LogicGate, and like that, as many as you can. You need to understand a lot of managing team, interviewing people, speaking to people, because it's one gray area that gives you a easy access to the strategic leadership of organization, but the opportunity might not be so many. That's it. So roles you can be involved will be risk analyst, auditor, compliance officer, governance officer, as the case may be. Where can you work? You can work in financial institutions, in fintech, in bank, or any organization that do anything with data. Do we really have any organization that is digital, that is not with data? So you can know that your opportunity for securing job is a lot and huge. I need to make sure I work with time. So I have to proceed. So the insight that I will give to you is, please have a strong GRC foundation that can open paths to management and leadership role, because it's able to do that. But if you are willing to do it, do not despise the technical area. As a matter of fact, learn it as fast as you can before you start doing the application, because it's at the later part of saying 4 or 5 years that you'll be required to be a leader. But if you are unable to address the technicality, it might be difficult for you to defend that role. I will now try to go to the career roadmap and the opportunities you can take advantage of. So from a beginner perspective, okay, if you are to have focus, I advise that you learn it by step. Do not take a leap, otherwise you'll be asked to go back. Learn networking. Learn foundational one. Learn networking as a start. Learn operating system, no different types. Learn Linux, Windows, as the case may be. Understand the basics of virtualization. Get your hands in, capture the flags. Like you go to track me at the box, do it by yourself. Why? To build confidence, because that is what will allow you to be taken for internship, and that will pave way for you to become a junior analyst. Remember, we all starting at the point, and as a beginner that can be an entry gate. For intermediate, you want to now begin to have mastery over the use of the tools. Like if you're a SOC analyst, you're mastering the scene. Is it Sentinel One? Is it ArcSight? Is it QRadar? Whichever one. Learn to master the use of the tool. You see, EDR, XDR, learn the mastery. When you gain mastery, you will be given different role to operate, like a threat hunter for the SOC analyst. And then you move from analyzing threat in return to trying to also perform the threat. Your new task can be for ethical hacker. Help us create a quick malware to test the effectiveness of our SIM. Yeah, I have assignments like this. Like create a quick malware, just throw it at our network. Of course, you have approval. We don't even want you to disclose when you want to deploy it, but we want to see the effectiveness for our SIM and know that we are getting the value we paid for. Throw it right where we don't think we can see it. If you bypass it and you're not detected, we need to query the value of the SIM that we are currently using. We have to do this. Why? Offenders have to test the defenders so that they work together as a form of purple teaming to be able to address the security gap that exists in the system. Effective strategy. If you move from that to be advanced, you now specialize in cloud, DevSecOps, and more, like DevSecOps consultant, DevSecOps engineer, cloud security, and some advanced role, right? But for instance, if you want to do cloud security, you're first expected to understand the cloud. I happen to take my people time to time on cloud, AWS, Azure, and GCP. Take it and show them differences. Right now, just to the computing, understand the services that you're trying to secure. Now, this is a bit more advanced because you can secure what you've understand. And then you proceed to the expert level where you are discussing strategic discussion on how to restructure the architecture of an organization to make sure that their security is actually working with best practice and they are remediating threats in real time. This discussion will advance to you negotiating with vendors on which tools to use, you advancing to moving to speak about it and tell about it, and like that you proceed to the level of chief information officer. You are a country leader. Now this is from beginner to expert level. I believe I am able to manage time, and I will be rounding up as fast as I can, and I hope I've not been boring you all along. Having seen all of what I've told you in the three areas we have spoken about, how then do you get started? I'm assuming, a lot assuming, that most of the people with me are getting started. And for that, how did I get in? I will be true to you. I got in through internship. How? We came and we saw it on LinkedIn. I have to be true. And when I saw it on LinkedIn, I saw it a week when I got interested a lot on LinkedIn. And I saw a lot on cybersecurity, and my mind was, wow, a lot of this has been happening in LinkedIn, and all along I've been learning in silo. Oh my. Then I reach out to organizations that are practicing cybersecurity, pick one name, check, send it a code message. Hello, do you do internship? Somebody was good enough to tell me, don't worry, bro, we don't do, but I think I know organizations that do. He mentioned the name. I searched for the organization on LinkedIn right there, and the name pops up. Then I find one of the name, and then I ask. Guess what? A number was attached. I picked the phone and I called, and she replied me. She said, we are currently not doing, but we're about to start. Keep looking out on our post. A week after, they drop a signpost of cybersecurity internship, and they drop the challenge right there. The challenge was right there. I took it and I failed. I was curious enough as to how I feel. So I went back to the people that respond on the chat and asked, hello, guy, I failed. How did you pass? He told me, oh, what question did you miss? I missed question two. Unfortunately, if you miss question two, you don't get to see question three because it is a capture the flag that was designed such way. So if it was 20 questions, I had no idea how many questions that was there. You have to pass the first to the second, to the fourth, to the third, and the fourth. That was how they did this. In many cases, it could be different. You can be having all of the questions. You have to pick the one you want, and it could be different condition. But that was the condition. Why? There were a lot of people applying, and they needed some level of expertise to screen out. So the question was not technical. It was from the idea of there's a picture over that location. Can you find out the edges? Can you approximate it from this picture and see what it is? Anybody just need to use their mind to get that done. They used that. This person was good enough to tell me the truth. Oh, this could have been the answer, and that could also be the answer. So how did you do it? I passed. Congratulations. One person passed. I asked the person, how did you pass? He didn't respond. We eventually met after. How? I woke up and I saw a message from the same team telling me, we have given you the last chance. Guess what happened? Because I failed, but curious to know why I failed, I already had the answer and I dare. So I took it again and passed. The person that I was asking earlier, how you not bothered to reply, failed at the interview. I got in. So it's important to not restrict the knowledge to yourself. Be good enough to share. Apply for internship on LinkedIn, on Indeed, on any company career. Do the freelance opportunity that you may see. Just give it a try. Strange. If you see a network level, a networking team, like people organizing career in cybersecurity, if you have to pay some token to get in, learn, build the network, build with a community, build with a people. In this industry, it looks big, it's such a circle. If you move from one place to another, you will meet the people one way or the other that you have seen somewhere. You're like, well, you are here. Yeah, we are here too. You are here. That's the way it is. So build a network. If you have a mentorship opportunity you can join, please join. Or as Cyber Defender, a little one that I also create for my people just to share and learn with them, which I do even this morning. Getting paid in cybersecurity with your brand is very important. So now that you have built a skill, now that you have joined the community, now that you are currently and actively learning, you need to now find a way to align what you have to be feasible for you to get paid, get the internship, get the job. Because the more feasible you are, the more valuable you become. But you want to do this strategically so that you don't end up being too loud without having the real skill. Either way, get started. Document the process, share with people. Therefore, I will need to round up because of time and because of every other thing that the administrator would like to manage. Cybersecurity isn't just about protecting the system. It is all even more about the people, because the people are the one that use the system. The people, you and I, are using the network. It's a lot more on the people than on the system and the network. I'm encouraging you, be curious, stay ethical, manage your skill, grow, and keep learning. If you're looking for a learner, I'm your friend. I am a learner. I am not sorry to say it, however way it sounds. I'm a learner. I learn every day. I get better every day. Attackers are never asleep. Neither am I. I'm going to find a way to protect the alert. I'm going to protect the system. I'm going to inform people on time. And I will do this. I will become so valuable. You are going to need me to defend the system. Then I can now detect the terms and conditions of how I want to get paid. So I'm telling you in the last, as I round up, so your takeaway should be start learning, use the lab, build community, apply for internship, build feasibility, build portfolio, use tools to showcase your feasibility, network with people, collaborate, share, and then start applying for internship. How many should you apply? As much as you can. Do you know why? You don't know which of them is going to be the kicker. Don't stop and don't be discouraged. If there's one thing I want to add to you, you should never forget resilience. It's going to be painful at some point that you're going to break a lot of things, but I tell you, it's part of the learning. Don't stop. Have my word for it. If you can build resilience, you're going to win it. Therefore, thank you for joining this cybersecurity masterclass. Please remember your consistency, your curiosity is one of the greatest tools that can help you to thrive. Stay connected, join the training, learn, and keep securing. So for you and I, we're going to meet at the higher place. So thank you very much for having me. Mr. Alfred Evolve, please take it from here. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much for your time. Please, can we appreciate him before we go ahead and ask our questions? I know we have a lot of questions to ask him. I know we have a lot of questions, and a lot of people have dropped messages. I don't just want to interrupt. They've been asking to say, "Oh, is there a slide for this? Is there a material for this?" So it's still something that we can still put together and send across. Yes, and send across. So, do we have any question? If you have any question, please kindly use the sign button. The sign button if you have any question related to cybersecurity that you want to ask the trainer. Yeah, so please use that. So while we're trying to wait for other people that have questions, while we're waiting for people that have questions to ask their question. Okay, somebody has a question. Hi, Jarvis. Jarvis, go ahead, please. Go ahead, please. Go ahead with your question.
Okay, hi, good evening, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, good evening. Please proceed.
Okay, before I ventured into cybersecurity, I was actually learning web development. So I've been learning web development for like 6 months now. So my question now is initially, because I'm doing it in school currently, I'm currently in 200 level, about to 300 level. And my initial plan was that I don't want to actually have one skill because I'm actually good at other things related to the computer. So why not just venture into cybersecurity since I'm seeing it everywhere? So now I'm trying to know if, since I'm a web developer, in what areas can I apply cybersecurity? So I won't like forget about the skill that leads me into tech. Hello?
Fantastic.
Yes, sir.
Fantastic. Please, if you mute a second. It's a good way you ask. I happen to also have software development background, so I should be able to help you. How did I manage? I started with why. My interest in securing grew further than in developing. I had to choose how. I will go to library and I will start studying. Then I will dedicate 1 hour for learning coding, programming, because I could code in C Sharp, C and .NET languages. And I realized I would end up with all of what I want to do in programming within 50-45 minutes. But you will have to stop me when I'm learning security because I just can't find myself to stop. My interest continued to rage. Unfortunately, the environment I was continued to discourage it by hiding this book from me, even in the library. I became assistant, learning it in my closet, learning Python from the writing of the script, knowing it can be used to automate tasks in Kali. For me, I had to proceed into the operating system right from there, and I continually do everything to move forward. And then I realized the advantage of software engineering play a bigger part in my role as currently. Why? If you have been with me, you would have known the different teams we have in cybersecurity. I tell people, go ahead, check Google cybersecurity color wheel. We have the blue teamer, we have the red teamer, we have the purple teamer, we have the yellow teamer, we have the gray, we have the white teamer. And some people, why do we have so many colors? For somebody who have a background in software development, do you know you are very needed, especially for a security engineer role, especially for building security tools. How? Antivirus was built to detect malware. Eventually, it wasn't solving the problem enough. So we need people who continually learning to build, who can also secure, to build more tools for us, like EDR, XDR, MDR. Any security tool you can see today was built. Therefore, for you who want to transition to security, you should know you have an edge already. Why? In any role that is technical given to you, the understanding of software development on programming or coding can be an advantage to a security engineer role or a security developer because you can be needed to build tools. If you eventually decide that you want to do core security, you don't want to be doing developing, you can continue to be an analyst or be an auditor, whichever career path you choose. So what you have is an advantage to a position where you can practice like security engineering, threat detection, because some threats comes with their code. So you are meant to understand the logic of programming to be able to analyze better. That gave me edge during the time of threat analysis when I was in SOC. Why? I could look at command and tell you what the intent of the attacker is because I like Linux. And understanding that gave me edge. And because I could write code in C Sharp and it helped me a lot in anything reverse engineering, we have to disassemble the code. We have to check into the code. If I had no understanding of dry running, it wouldn't even help me here. So you should know what you have is an advantage to any of the route you are choosing to practice. I hope this is justice for what you ask for. Is this okay now? Can I? All right. Okay. Any other question, please?
Yeah,
All
do you
right.
have any other question? Like, Mustafa. While Mustafa is trying to ask his question, I'm going to drop some link right now in the chat section. For anybody interested in Evolve HQ Cybersecurity training, we have GRC training, we have SOC training, and we have the normal hands-on to cybersecurity training. The hands-on to cybersecurity training comprises of learning a lot of things, ethical hacking, penetration tests, and a lot of things before niching down. But we have a niche training, and we also have uh, classes for ethical hacking. So I've dropped some links right now. So if you're interested in that, so just quickly reach just quickly the link and get that to the representative will call you. But I just want up my line, and then if you also want to ask any other question once we're done with the session, you can also still send me a message via WhatsApp. I'll drop my number. So let's take Mustafa question before we go to the day. Let me check again. I go ahead with your question. Your hand is up. Or was that a mistake? If you're speaking, we cannot hear you. Okay, so I don't think it's there. Do you have any question before we call it wrap and call it today?
Hello, can you hear me now?
Okay. I can hear you. Go
All right.
ahead, please.
So my question is this: what are the certifications that we can get as a beginner to transition fully, or rather to secure roles in the cybersecurity world? Because the truth is, a lot of people after transitioning into cybersecurity, I hope you can all hear me. After transitioning into cybersecurity, to get certifications becomes a problem because most of the certifications are not affordable for most people. For example, someone like me, the I feel like the certifications that I'm going to need later on, many of them are not affordable because currently I am a student.
Well, try your best, viewers.
Sorry?
We can.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Please proceed.
All right. After transitioning into cybersecurity, to get the certifications to secure a job becomes a problem. For someone like me, I am currently a student in the university, okay, but then I'm trying to transition into cybersecurity. I also started out in tech as a web developer, learning my HTML and CSS. So my question basically is, what are the certifications that we can get to at least start? You mentioned one, but please, are there any other ones that we can get, please? That's my question.
I'd move sir. Thank you for asking. Yeah, there are entry level certifications you can take. I am very sure when you come to Evolve, they will be able to show you the certifications to take. I can add from my side for entry level security role, we have certified cybersecurity from from ISC Square. It is from a start free, but after you've passed, you might have to join them and then they ask you to subscribe with some amount. But for taking the exam and studying for the exam, it is free. There are other ones that are essentially recognized in the industry that do not come with payment. Some from Cisco Net Arcade, very recognized, yet not paid for. Take that. And you can get for defender's role or even the offender's role, even from that net account. In addition, are you considering any other one for entry level role? I strongly recommend that you also attempt or take Security Plus. It has major domains that cut across different areas for a cybersecurity practitioner to enjoy or to master. So for entry level role, you can consider certified in cybersecurity from HSE Square. And also the ones from Cisco Net Arcade that are offered for free but industrially recognized, very recognized. And if you're looking for a paid one, you can do Security Plus. There are lots more, especially when you join community or you join a training that you will have the advantage to have. There are some that come with voucher and with coupon, especially in this month, like for cybersecurity training. You can get by hunting for voucher on LinkedIn, on X, Indeed, and the like. And I wish you good luck even in your finding. I hope I'm able to do justice to that question.
Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome.
Yes, you did. Thank you very much. Before we call it today, before we call it a wrap, and before you give us the parting word, which might be the final word, I'd like to appreciate everybody that stayed from 7 o'clock to this time. After from 7 o'clock to this time, and thank you very much to your facilitator. The person of Mr. Adiwale Mustafa that have taken us through a lot of things and shared from his work of experience regards to cybersecurity. So in the next few seconds, I'm famous about EvolveHQ Cybersecurity Training. EvolveHQ offer hands-on practical intensive training in different areas. Number one, it's cybersecurity. Number two, GRC. They also offer stock and also offer ethical hacking. Mustafa said those links are not clickable. Can we? We can't copy the message. So Mustafa, I'm dropping my number right. Send me a message. Send me a message on WhatsApp. So if you can send a message on WhatsApp, then from there we can pick it up. So yes, I got it. So after number, so you can send me a message. And the way it has been packaged, the way the training has been packaged is a job readiness training. It's a job readiness training. Yes, it's a job readiness training, which is quite make it very, very important. What I'm saying is it's strictly hands-on practical intensive training that runs for 2 months, Saturdays and Sundays, 12 to 3 on Saturday, 2 to 5 on Sunday. You will be getting our certificate. We are now registered. We are now accredited by CPD UK. Right now, we are a training provider that has been accredited by this body in the UK right now. So this means that our certificates also carry weight. It's not just, oh, I've gone through this, I've done this training. I was talking to somebody in UK this last week, and it said that that when he did masters in cybersecurity, and he said they've never for once asked him for his master certificate in cybersecurity. They've never for once asked him. What they were just asking is experience. What can you do? What can you deliver? And in the course of all this training that I've mentioned, you would be able to build a portfolio that you would be able to show recruiters. And the training is strictly hands-on. And at the end of the training, would also give you a robust capstone project to work on that you will be defending, and you'll be presenting this project to the faculty. So they'll be asking you thorough questions. This training is different from other cybersecurity training where you learn theoretical. This is strictly practicals. And at the end of the training, we'll be giving you a detailed, robust project that you'll be presenting. I'll be giving you constructive criticism to validate your knowledge in cybersecurity. Constructive criticism to validate your knowledge in cybersecurity. And at the end of the training, we also have post-training plans where we'll be sending multiple projects for you to work on. The training runs for 2 months. There is a scheme where you're working on multiple projects for 2 months at the end of the training. So that's like a hands-on thorough 4-month experience if you follow through the training. Hands-on thorough 4-month experience if you follow through the training. The live class with the trainer is 2 months. The post-training experience is 2 months with courses. You will get your certificate before you start working on the post-training experience. And other courses, you also be learning how to optimize your LinkedIn, how to revamp your CV. There is also a part where the technical recruiters will be coming to take you on personal branding, how to sell yourself, So if you're interested, please click the link or you send me a message on WhatsApp right now. My name is Alfred. I've dropped a message. You can send me a message on WhatsApp right now so that you can have us to the class group. And our representative will call you tomorrow or Monday to give you more information regards to the training. Most of all this training I've mentioned is starting November 4th, and that is next week, Saturday. We're having an onboarding session November 1st. So thank you everyone for joining. I would like to appreciate you once more. And this training has its paid training. It's not free, and we're offering a good and amazing discount to anybody that signed up from this call right now. So please sign up right now. Click the link in the chat section or send me a DM. Mr. Adewale, please, what's that pattern word you believe in us with, please? What's the pattern word? What's that every word? What's that motivational pitch you believe in us with as we say our good night?
Thank you very much, everyone, for coming and for the confidence to believe that if you join, you will be able to know what you came for. I hope while you are here, you have been able to get advantage for your time and get more clarity to the questions you have for cybersecurity rules. And this is me telling you that you will be picking a good platform to train, to learn, and I am wishing you the very best in your journey, hoping we meet at the top where we solve problems together. Thank you very much for your attention and thank you for being here. Wish you good luck, everyone.
Oh, somebody
Bye.
wanted to ask question. Edit, can you quickly shoot? We have less than 1 minute left. Edit, are you there? Hi, Edit.
Yeah.
What's the question?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Go ahead, please.
Okay. So me too. I'm currently trying to learn, like get into cybersecurity and some coding. So my question is that it's feeling kind of so overwhelming that sometimes you can just type a prompt in your, let's say, AI for the code and everything you want, and then you just get it immediately, like with all the answers and stuff. So I'm still asking, like, learning it now, like going to YouTube platforms to watch a full video of some like how to code and how to do all this stuff when you can just write it on the AI and it'll give you something. So that kind of, it's like making me lose some interest in like learning coding in all, because you can just basically put the prompt and then it'll give you everything. That's basically my question. Like, how do I go about that kind of stuff?
I understand it. One, you're using YouTube. And number two, you're also saying, oh, AI and YouTube, instead of me learning it, I can just give AI the prompt and I get the request or get the answer from AI. So why am I learning it when AI is there to support me, right? I think I get that. So AI is to make you effective, efficient, and be more productive. AI is not taking over your job. I was talking to, I was having a conversation with some people, and we spoke about the impact of AI. If AI prompt, will AI be able to carry out those tasks? No. If you don't know what you want, AI is prone to mistakes. Do you understand? AI is prone to mistake. AI make mistakes. If you don't know what you want, that means that, okay, but what you said, it means that if AI uh gives you 5, if 2 plus 2 is equals to 4, and AI gives you 5 and you don't know that it's 5, you just accept, you don't know that it's 4 rather, You just accept the answer. That's what it means. So the first thing is you need to have not just it's you will use AI at the point you will use AI, but you having an in-depth understanding regards to what you're doing. A lot of people like there are some AI tools that are quite very technical. In this case, it's simple, right? If you are a GRC and a compliance person, you must know some key elements before consulting AI. When you're consulting AI, you know what you're looking out for. Do you understand? You know what you're looking out for. AI should even aid your learning experience. AI should not demotivate you, it should motivate you to keep on learning. What I'm saying is this: you learn on YouTube, you learn on AI. AI is meant to complement what you've learned and make it a good learning experience for you. Because I use AI also. Sometimes I just go to YouTube and I watch some things on YouTube. And YouTube, it's information that somebody sat down to record. AI is built based on data, information. So what I do is that I watch this YouTube, I validate it on AI, and I open maybe a lab to practice. Do you understand? So I'm not just learning, I'm also practicing. Like what we do at EvolveHQ is strictly practicals, hands-on practical, intensive, hands-on practical intensive. So it's not just even learning now. It's about even getting your hands dirty. It's about implementing, it's about getting your hands dirty and implementing, because it's not just, oh, AI is helping me to do that, is helping me to do that. No, you must. So if there's no AI, how would you have learned all these things? Do you understand? Or Mr. Adewale, do you have anything you want to add
Yes, I
before we go, because we're far behind time?
You have spoken well. Thank you very much. I feel like you have already said everything. What I can add is this. Yes, AI is meant to enable everything it touch. Eventually, security engineers need it, developers need it to get the job done. But something is about to happen, something that is going to need you and I, that AI to collaborate. And that's what is happening. But you see, the core cannot be neglected. So I would advise, do not stop to use the AI. In fact, use it to get your job done more. But you have to also go to be intentional and learn the basic. Because right now, we are going to need people who understand the nitty-gritty beyond what AI can deliver. I must admit, some days ago, AWS had some issue with some of their centers, something they are not willing to really talk about. Well, earlier before now, they replaced almost 40% of the workforce with AI. Now we're having gray area where AI cannot work. You see, we are still going to need the people that will let go to come on board and come and fix this thing. But you see, we will need the ones that really understand the nitty-gritty. AI will not take your job if you learn to use the AI to get more effective on the job. But chances are that if you do not know the basic, you will be the one that will be threatened in the long run. So I'm encouraging you, get funded, get core, and gain mastery. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We need to run right now. We need to go right now. Thank you, everyone. I see you, Mr. Olajide. You just joined. Hi, Mr. Olajide. How are you doing, sir? Mr. Olajide, are you there?
Yes, I am. Sorry, I
Please,
think I mixed up the time. I thought it was 3 p.m. only for me to discover it was actually 2. Sorry. Well, 3 p.m. my time. Well,
so great. I understand. How is
mm.
Canada?
Yeah, good, good. We're doing great.
Yeah, for the record, Mr. Olajide took training. How has it been in the cybersecurity space, huh?
Yeah, well, maybe because I've not really pursued it in the actual sense. So I'm still doing my technical support and just still looking at what the market would be. Well, Donald Trump is still dealing with us, so
Oh, true. You're in Canada. I saw that thing.
so it's still trying to suffocate us, so taking away all the jobs. So
Yeah. At this point, Canada need to fend for themselves.
Well, our PM is trying to do that. So, well,
Yeah.
let's see what it will be like next year.
Great, great, great. Okay,
Hmm.
that's fine. I'll see your DM soon so we can talk about other things because we launched
Okay.
GMC, we launched SOC,
Okay.
and we launched ethical hacking training.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and these are like specific niche training. It's just strictly niche and niche training. There's also a training plan where you will send you multiple projects to work on at the end of the training. And
Okay.
we are now a CPD provider, a CPD provider. We are accredited by CPD in the UK right now. So
Okay. Okay.
accredited right now. Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you everyone for joining. Great evening and have enjoyed the rest of your day. Please, I've dropped the message again. Kindly click the link if you're interested in joining the training. I'll see you in class soon. Bye. Thank you, everyone.